this was the fit and where I wanted my boys to spend the latter years of their high school maturing. And basically, I just knew that their character would be so well built at this school. And with my oldest son graduating very soon next week, I couldn't be happier with the young man that he is, that he has turned out to be as a result of his 4 years at Ridley.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
In terms of in terms of choosing this school, the process was very seamless. The admissions team is very warm, very nurturing, very helpful. They guide you along the whole process. I had a bit of familiarity with boarding schools because I attended one years and years ago in Toronto. So I was a lot of it wasn't foreign to me. So perhaps that process assisted um, assisted us in our decision making. But I would say between the faculty and the way they manage the process makes it really smooth, seamless, very welcoming, very warm. And I think based on the culture that we come from in the Caribbean, for me, there's certain things I look for an emphasis on. And certainly warmth, embracing differences and cultures and the multicultural, the dynamism of the school played a role in that as well. So I have two children at the school. One is about to graduate. One is in grade 10, will go into 11 in the September academic year. They have adjusted beautifully. I think academically there is an adjustment. Any child coming from one system to the next will have an adjustment period. But again, I think the accessibility of the faculty to guide your child through challenges is there's such a open door policy, and the willingness that they offer is very reassuring for a parent. I think there's so many things they appreciate. Academically, just the ability to have so many choices. They're coming from a smaller Caribbean island, so in terms of having so many choices, that was a big deal. That was also something that as parents we looked at. Giving them opportunities to grow, try new things, try new subjects that they wouldn't have usually had accessible to them. The academic program, I've spoken about sports for sure, ability to try so many sports that they typically wouldn't, coming from where they came from. The after school programs, as well as the opportunity for arts, because not everybody is sports inclined, but there really is something for everyone all year round. I love the warmth of the faculty. I love how accessible and easy it is to engage and communicate with anyone you need at the school, even though you're 1,000 miles away. They keep you so connected, which I think is a real bonus. You can't ever say you feel disconnected. In every way, you feel connected to your child's boarding house, the head of house that runs that, and also how they embrace your children in the boarding aspect of it. It really is a home away from home. And I think my kids have felt that as well. And the sense of a family away from their real family. So my oldest son is a prefect. I'm proud of both my boys and all their really accomplishments and what they've worked hard for. I think the school definitely nurtures flourishing as one of their, I would say, key words. And I think both my children have certainly flourished attending this school. They both have worked hard in sports. One is more arts inclined. He's heavily invested in his music, and how he's blossomed through playing the instruments that he loves and being part of band and cadet band as well. My oldest is a prefect. He's about to graduate. And I think the joy of boarding school and the benefit of boarding school is knowing that you're giving your child the opportunity to spread their wings and grow and make the best of themselves into good young people, good citizens, good young people, good respectful young people. Very, very welcoming, very engaging. I've never had an issue at all. I think they have a real open door policy. You can contact them anything. They're extremely responsive. I've all my experiences over the last 4 years so to date have been positive. So I'd say the first reason I would recommend it, I think it's a well-rounded program. It gives your child the opportunity for self-growth, for nurturing, for flourishing. It really allows your child to mature through the process. I would say the second reason I would recommend it is I think the school offers so much academically, sports, arts, community, which is also a big thing for me, is that you have to be part of the community that you live in and contribute. I really appreciate that Ridley does that. And the third reason I would recommend it, I mean, I just think it's a beautiful school. I think they do a really good job in creating a home away from home, as a boarding school, and that they provide a wonderful platform to allow young people to arrive and leave as young adults. You want to, first of all, you have to know your child. You have to know the personality of your child. We personally had taught 5 boarding schools, and Ridley was my favorite. When we met with the principal and the admin team, um, it was just so welcoming. And I just felt like I had found the place that I wanted my child to spend their teenage going into early adulthood, um, where I wanted them to spend the last 4 years of their high school. And I'm so glad I did, because I think it was the best decision. Always remember the principal saying that you leave your boy here, but when you pick him up at the end, he will be a young man. And I always use that quote because it sits so well with knowing that my son's going to be graduating in a week's time. And my first son, there at Ridley, and he really has grown into just a wonderful young man. And it just offers great character building. And at the end of the day, that you have to know what you want for your child. And I think Ridley offers that maturity, well-roundedness, and that your child is, their character is certainly built in a positive environment. Yeah, so I would say, having attended boarding school myself over 30 years ago, I knew what being in boarding school was like. In this day and age, boarding school is such a different experience. It's a different time, and I couldn't be happier with the choice. We had toured 5 boarding schools. Really ended up being our top choice, and that's because I just, as a parent, instinctively felt when I met the principal and some of the faculty and the admissions team that this was the fit, and where I wanted my boys to spend the latter years of their high school maturing. And basically, I just knew that their character would be so well built at this school. And with my older son graduating very soon next week, I couldn't be happier with the young man that he is, that he has turned out to be as a result of his 4 years at Ridley. And I look forward to my second son graduating in 2 years. He's matured beautifully at this school. And I think the environment is so nurturing, warm, and loving. It is these boys have really enjoyed um living and attending school at Ridley, and I just couldn't be happier. And as a parent, you always want to feel settled, and I have felt nothing more.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.